good, fam? Listen, if you think you already heard every Drake downfall theory, you flat out ain't ready for what's going on right now. Drake's Iceman album ain't just stuck. This whole project might be melting away in real time. We got industry drama, messy label moves, last-minute delays, and rumor after rumor with even bigger names blocking his way. And yeah, you heard it right. Drake nearly name-dropped Kendrick with a side eye, but that might not even be his biggest problem out here. Something way bigger just hit his career, more serious than any episode flop or song that bricked. Bro really cooked up his own disaster, and for once, the industry ain't there to bail him out. So stay tapped in, cause you want to see just how wild this gets. See, this Iceman album was supposed to be Drake's big comeback. Everybody hype, fans begging for a drop, the streets buzzing like, yo, Drizzy got something special on the way. All eyes on him, thinking maybe, just maybe, he got his groove back after all the L's he been catching since that whole Kendrick thing. But the promise is looking faker by the day. Words started spreading on Reddit and Twitter about the album being pushed back, with wild stories flying around. One popped off mad heavy, claiming Drake was blaming his own son Adonis for the delay, talking about the kid going viral or distracting him. But let's be real, that turned out to be cap, straight debunked. We can't put this mess on the kid. The real reason for the delay? Man, it goes way deeper than family drama. You think after so many years running the charts, Drake would know how to keep his new stuff locked. But nah, lately dude been losing grip for real. First, whole chunks of tracks start leaking online before release. Some half mixed and some just sounding like raw demos. Not just a song here and there. Whole sessions, whole studio files just getting snatched up and pushed to Discords, Telegrams, TikTok, you name it. Drake tried to fight back using IG lives and surprise drops like, yo, I still control this narrative. But it just looked desperate now. Like the more he tries to plug the leaks, the worse they get. These random groups, like that one crew called themselves Bagwork, they're out here flexing like they holding Drake's music hostage, demanding clout and scraps just to slow drip snippets to the masses. It's wild. Bro used to clown the game by dropping surprise tapes. Now these little teen streamer squads got him looking desperate, scrambling just to keep his album from being out in the open before he even gets a chance to finish mixing it. How Drizzy go from the king of calculated rollouts to somebody looking like he working check to check, hit after hit, leaking out before the cover art even done, is a certified L on every angle. And while Drizzy out here losing sleep and acting mad paranoid, like dudes in his circle can't keep their mouths shut, the real beef brewing ain't just about leaks. It's about power and who holds it now. See, for years, Drake been tight with the big label heads. Universal, Republic, all that. Those was his squad running numbers, making sure any project he touched had an automatic shot at #1. But that's over now. Word in the streets is Drake done burned a lot of his bridges behind the scenes, getting slick on tracks, talking real greasy. Ain't even just subs. He been firing shots at execs who used to be his main backers. Some even say he's throwing shade at their families. That's a dangerous move in the industry, especially when your entire appeal been built on being the golden child of the machine. Like imagine being that dude who used to flood the timeline with chart toppers every quarter, always finding some way to edge ahead. But now you got the machine turning on you, quick to switch lanes as soon as another superstar needs that push. It's not just Drake versus the world anymore. It's Drake versus the very squad that made him a legend. When you beef with the label and the industry's biggest gatekeepers, they're not just gonna sit back and let you win. Matter of fact, rumor got it that dude even convinced some of his own friends like Young Thug to hold back their albums just to dodge competing with him and try to control the charts. But that move played out, bro. The industry got bigger plans in mind. All of this would be enough to sink just about anybody. Yet it gets even crazier when you look at who's waiting around the block to make sure Iceman really never gets dropped. I'm talking about the music industry's true darling. The one person the suits love more than anyone alive, Taylor Swift. That's right, Taylor coming with an album campaign so massive, insiders saying it's about to be the biggest push since Michael Jackson's Thriller. We talking year-long promo runs, millions in ad money, merch, vinyls, midnight listening parties, literally everything on lock for her. Meanwhile, Drizzy can't even keep a track from leaking. That ain't just tough luck. That's the label sending a loud message. We picking her over you, deal with it. You know how dirty this is? Every resource, every marketing bag, every streaming cheat code that used to be in Drake's pocket, now all of that's redirected to Taylor. Makes sense. They know she got the numbers, the fans, the corporate ties, and the holiday season drop timing. Everybody buys vinyl and CDs for Christmas, and the labels trying to stack numbers like it's still 1984. But put two and two together, Taylor's the priority now. And Drake, he's just in the way. The industry ain't got room for two chosen ones anymore. This ain't a beef, it's a full-on block. The man is frozen out. And I know some of y'all probably thinking, maybe Drizzy just wait till she out the way, then slide his album in and snatch that #1 anyway. Nah, bruh, that ain't how it's working this time. Taylor's rollout is planned for months. Every week her numbers gonna be insane. Just off vinyl, off physicals, and them streaming bundles. Drake could drop in the middle of all that hype and risk pulling a #2 spot. Or worse, he just sits on his project until next summer. By which point ain't nobody hungry for that old leftover. Bro got boxed in and he knows it. It's an L from every side. The whole thing get even sadder when you look at what actually matters to Drake these days. Numbers, charts, sales. Dude spent his whole career flexing digits, clowning every other rapper for not breaking records or charting higher. His fan base only cares about week 1 streams and Billboard position. But what happens when you build your whole image on being Mr. Number 1 and suddenly you're not even top of your own label's priority list? What you gonna tell your fans then when your streaming squad can't outshine Taylor's army of vinyl buyers and 10-year-olds with gift cards? Drake got so deep into this calculated mindset he boxed himself in. Nothing short of a number 1 will satisfy his ego or his fans. If Iceman drops and doesn't hit the top, instant meme. Drizzy gonna get roasted harder than ever. Yo, if you made it this far, you know we breaking down the facts different here. Real talk, hit the like button if you want the truth, not industry spin. Drop a comment with your wildest Drake theory. Was Adonis ever really the holdup, or is Drizzy just scared of catching another L? Subscribe to keep up, because we got even more dirt to dig up. And trust me, it gets nastier from here. But before we break down just how the fans are reacting right now and why the internet is flipping on Drake, let's actually look at the fallout, because right as these numbers don't add up for the boy, the streets got opinions, conspiracies, and a whole new level of disrespect coming. And some of it might even shock you. Now let's talk about how the fans been acting, because bro, this is where things start to look real ugly. You scroll through X, Reddit, even YouTube comments, and ain't nobody pulling their punches when it come to Drizzy these days. Used to be his stands was wildin', ready to run through walls for him. But now, you see the memes, the clowning, and folks dead ass rooting for this Iceman album to flop just so the legend of Mr. Number 1 gets shattered. And let's not act like this hostility came out of nowhere. The people sick of waiting. Every day another fake rumor, another snippet leak, another delay. Expectations through the roof. And every time homie blinks, it's a new excuse. Ain't nobody buying that the industry holding me back narrative anymore. Folks saying, yo, maybe Drizzy just scared. And for the first time, dude might really be ducking. Not the ops, but numbers lower than his own hype. Fans got theories for days. Some say he purposely leaking songs to throw off hype so he can reset expectations. Straight delusion if you ask me, but folks running with it. Others swear he beefing with his closest producers and engineers, that maybe OVO ain't as tight as it looks from the outside. Hell, even talks pop up about playing fake leaks just to manufacture drama, try and get the internet back on his side. All of that smoke, no real fire behind it. Reality is, bro, been too cocky too long, thinking he immune to the rules. Now every single move's under a microscope and every misstep turns to a punchline. But here's the wildest part. Drake really brought this fall off culture on himself. For real. He built his legacy counting numbers, flexing platinum plaques, and belittling rappers who ain't chart. He started a whole trend where kids care more about first week projections than the art, where a song doesn't matter unless the stream's insane. So now, with Taylor Swift's release turning the industry upside down, the very system Drake weaponized is coming back to destroy him. No mercy at all. He can't escape it. If Iceman come out and miss that number 1, it's gonna haunt his rep for years, way more than any weak diss track or online beef could do. People watching close too. Notice how every time he do go online to explain or fire off at the label or throw subtle shots at execs, it comes off forced, like he trying to convince himself more than anybody else he still got it. Meanwhile, fans can see the panic. They see him stalling, see the energy shift, see the desperation. Y'all remember when artists could just drop a great album and let it live? Nah, Drizzy killed that. Now every drop is a numbers war, and he set the bar so high, it's like he built a trap for himself. You can see it in the timelines. Fans whispering maybe he should have just focused on making timeless music instead of chasing Billboard every time. But yo, it's not all just hate. There's some real talk in these comment sections about what he could have done different. People screaming he should roll this Iceman album out quiet, focused on the music, let the heavyweights clash, then drop when things cool off. Maybe even collaborate with young underground cats to shift the narrative and prove he still got the juice. But that ego, crazy, man. He's so stuck on being the main character, he missed the lesson every OG in the game knows. You gotta be able to pivot, humble yourself, and move in silence when pressure hit. Bro was too worried about who he could outsell, and it blinded him to the game moving on without him. And here's the biggest ill. He let his pride force him into a no-win situation. If he don't drop Iceman, folks call him scared and washed and say he's officially ducking Taylor. If he do drop and it goes number 2, or worse, the memes will break the internet and the confidence of his own fan base is gonna shatter. All that trolling, all that sideline clowning he did to other rappers, coming right back like karma with a quickness. Imagine being so pressed about numbers that you make music for spreadsheets. Not soul. That's not a W. Not now. Not ever. What makes this even crazier is the long-term effect. By letting the whole world see this meltdown, Drake risking his own legend status. People might forget how dominant he was. Now they just see a dude obsessed with charts, losing battles he started, and running scared when the market don't bend for him. He's been a standard for so long that when he falls, it's like the whole era he inspired get exposed for his weaknesses. Artists and fans both waking up, realizing maybe there's more to hip-hop than first week records, and always winning every single streaming stat. Maybe real artistry and risk mean more than some digital plaque on your wall. For the first time, the dude who set the rules gotta play by him, and he ain't ready. It ain't all doom though. If Drizzy wanted to save face, he could switch things up. Come clean, tell his supporters he focusing on the music again. Drop a project nobody expected with collabs from the most random out-the-box artists. Maybe pull a Kendrick move, be gone a while, heal, reinvent, then pop out with something that feel like a new chapter, not an old, tired rerun. That's the only W left here. But he gotta let go of this numbers game and trust people still want to hear from him, even if he not breaking the charts every 7 days. It's a pride check, and not everybody survives those. You feel me? Truth is, what we're seeing with Iceman ain't just about one album or one artist. It's about how hip-hop, pop, and the whole game got so obsessed with streaming stats, they forgot who really got the juice. Drizzy had his run, no denying, legend already. But even the biggest gotta face the music, and right now it's looking like he boxed himself out. The label moved on, the fans restless, and the machine running with whoever bringing the easy dips now. That's the coldest part. Drake found out the hard way he was never irreplaceable in this industry, no matter how many plaques he stack up. So is this it for his reign? Is this the moment we look back on and say, that's when Drake lost the keys to the game? Or they gonna shock us and flip it, show he can bounce back the way true legends do? Let me know what y'all think. Drop your wildest predictions in the comments. And if you still riding with the content, hit that subscribe and run up the likes. Trust me, you don't wanna miss what's coming next, cause the story ain't done. Drizzy's next move might just shake everything up, for better or for worse. Stay tuned.